In the journey of life, there are different compartments. If we understand the different compartments, we understand the journey of life. The first compartment is what we call the intrapersonal relationship, the relationship that we have with ourselves. Many of us know that we have a self, but we don't exactly know who that self is. It's like having someone in the room, but you just don't know who it is. So the composite of a human being is effectively 5 parts. The bottom line of this is that you get a sense of pleasure and pain. This is very often associated to pride and shame. And of course, the body will give you pleasure for certain biochemical things, whether it's food, intimacy, horrifically drugs, etc., etc. And of course, it will give you pain, whether it's, a fire, a bee, etc., etc. So the human being is kind of an addict and a phobic. We're addicted to those things that gave us pleasure. We want more of it. And we're phobic of those things that gave us pain. We want less than it. So in a simple description, we are a robot that is attracted to pleasure and pride and retract from shame as well as pain. Now, of course, we also have a mind. We have God within us. We have ideals. We have a conscience. And that is probably even more of who we are, because that represents our values, our essence. And to the extent that we align our behavior, which is our thought, speech, and actions, to our ideals, is the extent that we feel, idealistic versus, and that's another system, which we would call the good versus bad system. So that's the one compartment. It's the intrapersonal knowledge of self and the working on self. Then we have interpersonal relationships, and that's the relationships we have with other people. And of course, there are many, many categories to interpersonal relationships. The relationship you have with a parent, a father, with a mother, with an older sibling, with a younger sibling, the relationship you have with a friend, with a child, perhaps even with a boss, a teacher. These are all different dynamics of relationships. Then finally, we have the spiritual component. And this is a very important idea, and that is that effectively God is real and is communicating. And to the extent that we accept that no matter who we are or what we have or what we become or what relationships we have or finances, etc., all of that is nothing compared to the infinity, because you could have $1 billion, $1 trillion, $100 trillion, but compared to, let's say, a computer that creates, when the central bank in the United States wants to distribute money, they don't actually print it. They just give a number, and you just, boom, send $1 trillion to somebody. So the point is, if you were the computer that could generate money, it's like there's all the money in the world in one number. You can just make more money than ever existed. So the point is that Hashem is that infinite component. And so once we understand that the best we can do is take every moment and allow some of that infinity to guide us.